Hi, church. I want to read to you Psalm 13. So just 6 verses. But it's one of those Psalms where David, who's writing it, starts out kind of seeming in one frame of mind and ends up in a different frame of mind. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart all the day? How long will my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Enlighten my eyes, or I will sleep the sleep of death. And my enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my adversaries will rejoice when I am shaken. But I have trusted in your loving kindness. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. And it seems like there are a number of these psalms where the psalmist starts out with this almost a sense of despair, asking, God, how long have you abandoned me? And when am I going to hear from you? And when are things going to get better? And end up with an exclamation of trust in God and praise for how God has dealt with them. And I was reading an interesting article that talked about the fact that we often think about things as unfair if they are in a negative sense, but we don't think of things as unfair if they are in a positive sense, if they are to our benefit. And the author of the article was encouraging us to make a list, to say, okay, these last months have been hard. Make a list of the things that have been unfair in a negative sense. But then go ahead and make a list of those things that we didn't deserve that happened in a positive sense. And I thought that was really a good suggestion because it helps us to focus our attention on the way that God has dealt with us. And as David says in that last verse, I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. And I wouldn't be so naive as to say that positives outweigh negatives or outbalance or counterbalance. We still have those negative experiences. They hurt, they are difficult, they are painful. But I think that it is unhealthy for us to only focus on those negatives and not to consider the way that God has dealt bountifully with us. And so I would encourage you today to join me in looking at your life and in considering how has God benefited me in these last few months. I understand the difficulties. I'm not even going to list them out. But what are the benefits? What is the bounty of God's dealing with me? And I think that we'll find as we look at those lists that we have a God who can be trusted, a God who has dealt bountifully with us, a God who does exceedingly abundantly beyond what we can ask or think. And that's just on paper. There are all the things that happen that we don't see, the things that we can't enumerate, the way that God goes before us, just the sense that we have that he is with us, the way that he arranges situations so that we benefit from them or we are protected in them. Let's remember that we have a God who is generous in his dealings with us. We have a God who has not forgotten us, even though it may occasionally feel like he has. We have a God who is true to his promises. We have a God who deals bountifully with us and who can be trusted.